What's up, Hoops Horizon family? Buckle up, because today we're diving into one of the most talked about storylines in the WNBA over the past week, Sophie Cunningham's future with the Indiana Fever, her relationship with Caitlin Clark, and why those wild she's leaving Indy rumors just got shut down in the best possible way. This story has gone from confusion, to panic, to clarity, and now we finally have Sophie herself clearing the air. And trust me, she didn't hold back. The noise all started with one simple moment from her podcast, a moment everyone clipped, tweeted, stitched, analyzed, and overreacted to. Sophie casually said that she wanted a bigger contract with her next team so she could buy a house and be all cozy. That one sentence broke Fever Twitter. Fans thought she was packing her bags. Content creators started speculating. Even longtime WNBA analysts wondered if the 29-year-old sharpshooter was hinting at a move to a big market team like New York or Minnesota. And honestly, who could blame anyone? With the CBA deadlines looming and the Fever trying to figure out extensions, it felt like it could have been the start of something huge. But turns out, the internet might have gotten just a little bit ahead of itself. Before we get to Sophie's new comments, her real comments, let's rewind for a second. Because in the original podcast clip, you could literally see her co-host's face freeze when she said next team. It almost felt like she slipped. Suddenly everyone was convinced she was hinting at leaving Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston, and the young rising Fever core behind. And immediately the theories began. Was she angling for a raise? Was she unhappy? Did she want a bigger market? Was she following the money? But here's the thing. Context matters, and Sophie's explanation now reveals that the whole moment might have been less about leaving and more about leverage, because in the WNBA, with the 30-day CBA extension ticking down and negotiations all over the place, players are trying to position themselves smartly, and Sophie? She's one of the players who actually pays attention to the business side of the league. She's been on those calls. She's been learning how the lockout situation would work. She's been understanding how negotiations between the union and league officials really function. And that's where her new interview changes the entire picture. Just hours before we filmed this video, a new article surfaced, featuring Sophie Cunningham speaking directly about Caitlin Clark, her 2026 return, and Sophie's own future with the Fever, and the tone, completely different from what people thought last week. Instead of hinting at leaving, she sounds like someone who wants to stay, who wants to run it back, who wants to be part of what Indiana is building around their generational superstar. Sophie didn't hesitate. She said Caitlin Clark is a phenomenal generation player, and she thinks everyone sees that. She praised Caitlin for elevating everyone around her. She expressed a clear desire to return. And the most impactful part? She flat out said she hopes they're all together again. Depending on the CBA and team decisions, that does not sound like someone already packing. The interview went down through Beth, one of the reporters who spoke with Sophie during the Annika Pro-Am tournament in Indy, a tournament where Sophie and Caitlin were reunited, having fun, smiling, joking, and taking swings on the course like two teammates who were absolutely coming back for unfinished business. Even more telling, Sophie followed up the interview with an Instagram post reflecting on her 7th year in the league. She thanked people, talked about the highs and lows, and in the comment section Kayla Clark dropped 4 simple but powerful words, time to run it back. And Sophie liked it. Fans noticed. Fever Nation took a deep breath. But what really seals the deal is this. Sophie actually loves playing in Indiana. When she first arrived after, 6 years in Phoenix, she made it clear she wanted this style of basketball, a fast, unselfish offense, shooters everywhere, players who sprint, pass, and compete like maniacs. She said she thrives in systems like this. Her words weren't generic. They were heartfelt. She talked about her roots in the Midwest, about being closer to her family, about her Missouri community already asking her for season tickets only hours after she'd been traded. She talked about the Fever's culture, about the locker room, about being surrounded by great people. And then, she said something that still resonates. Oh heck yeah, we're about to go win a championship. That was her first thought when she learned she was traded to Indiana. And here's where things get really interesting. Because when she talked about playing with Caitlin Clark earlier this year, she made it clear she sees herself not just as a teammate, but as a veteran mentor, someone who learned under Diana Taurasi, someone who knows how to compete, how to fight, how to protect teammates, how to handle the brutal pressure that comes with being in the spotlight. Sophie describes herself as fierce, sassy, fiery, and loyal. She's the type who will get in someone's face if they go after her teammates. She's the type who will take the heat, take the foul, take the shove to give the star player breathing room, and, When she talked about playing with Caitlyn, you could just hear the respect in her voice. She understands how Caitlyn changed the league. She sees how Caitlyn draws crowds, media, energy, and eyeballs from every corner of the country, and she really wants to be part of that. Fast forward to the recent Pro-Am tournament, Caitlyn returning from her season-ending injury, telling reporters she feels 100% healthy, walking confidently, swinging golf clubs, smiling. Her recovery went smoother than expected. Some insiders believe she's been cleared for months, and you could just see it in her body language. She's ready. Sophie sees that too, and honestly, she wants to be next to that kind of energy when the Fever come back for the 2026 season with a healthy lineup. But here's the bigger picture, folks. Sophie Cunningham isn't just thinking about the basketball side of things. Nope. She's also paying close attention to the CBA negotiations that will shape free agency rules, player salaries, contract incentives, and team budgets. She learned recently that the league doesn't go into a lockout just because a deal isn't reached by the 31st. Both sides can keep negotiating as long as they're committed, and Sophie, who loves the business side, is using that knowledge to position herself. So, yes, maybe that next team comment was partly strategy. Maybe it was a little negotiating leverage. Maybe it was just a veteran WNBA player being real about wanting stability and a home after years of bouncing between markets. But after everything she just said this week, there's no doubt she sees Indiana as a real home. A place she wants to stay. A place she believes can win. And let's not forget the energy around this team. Caitlin Clark is on the rise. Aaliyah Boston is becoming a generational big. Nalissa Smith is developing. Kelsey Mitchell can score at will. And players like Sophie bring grit, experience, shooting, and attitude. The exact things championship teams need. So what does this all mean? It means Fever fans can calm down. It means Sophie Cunningham isn't planning an exit. It means she values her relationship with Caitlin Clark. It means she believes in the culture. It means she wants to run it back, just like Kayla said. And most importantly, it means Indiana's 2026 season is shaping up to be absolutely electric. Hoops Horizon family, drop your thoughts below. Do you think Sophie stays long-term? Do you think this Fever roster is ready to make a real title push in 2026? And how do you feel about her pairing with Caitlin Clark next season? And if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe to Hoops Horizon, and I'll catch you on the next video.